When was the last time you got invested in a brand new fantasy world with amazing complex characters?
I believe that just a little bit more after meeting you.
A found family dynamic.
Anything you need, I'm here for you.
Irreverent humor.
And you are smarter than you smell.
A war brewing in the background that our heroes will have to face.
War is coming.
With beautiful animation, with as much magic as there is fun, expressive characters.
I have so many questions.
So many shows like that ended not that long ago, but feel further away now than ever. And for a lot of us, our favorites are a decade old or more. Avatar the Last Airbender, The Owl House, She-Ra.
Pour one out for She-Ra being taken off Netflix.
Yeah! We're probably gonna lose those last 2 seasons forever, since they're on the DVDs.
You will be missed.
And it seems like there's so few new things that fit that category being made these days. So, let me ask you, have you heard of the Mighty Nein?
When was the last time you had a little fun, huh?
Because you're about to. She never shuts up about this one.
Because it's so good! In September 2025.
Oh, it's weird how that sounds. Like you're reading a journal entry from years ago, or something, but it was literally last fall.
I started seeing video clips on Twitter. A happy, spunky little blue tiefling girl. A very sad-looking man with reddish-brown hair. Talking to a little goblin girl. A buff lady who looked a lot like Sokka from Avatar. I was instantly glued to my screen. I had to know more. Was this a show? Where could I find it? Sometimes my feed leads me to weird, obscure things I've just never heard of before. But this one was brand new. Not even premiered yet. All I knew was it was going to be an Amazon Prime show. When October rolled around, and I was seeing people going to Comic-Con, I saw posts where everyone had these Mighty Nein posters. I wanted one.
I remember. You were laser focused on finding that thing.
I wanted there to be a booth that could tell me more, and walk out of there with loot for this new show. It's funny how I was so right and so wrong at the same time. When I was at Comic-Con, there was a lot of D&D stuff everywhere I looked.
Well, yes, of course. Obviously.
Very pretty, very expensive dice that I learned to not look at too much. I wasn't about to spend my money on a game I don't even play. They even had devices to roll the dice in fun ways.
Some of those were handmade, with these cool magnetic systems.
I also saw signs of that famous group, Critical Role.
Critical Role is going to New York Comic-Con, our home city.
So I guess they were doing stuff, and I didn't really know anything about them. But absolutely no sign of a booth by Amazon Prime giving out Mighty Nein posters. I was so confused why they weren't promoting it.
Oh, you must be joking. Lexi, please tell me this is a joke.
Sorry, buddy, this is how it happened.
Some of you are as confused as I was. Others, you absolutely know what went wrong here.
Yeah.
Feel free to laugh. Clearly I rolled a 1 on my perception check that day in my quest to find the poster. Remember I mentioned Critical Role? That D&D group I kinda sorta knew existed? Yeah, they are the group that created the Mighty Nein. It was originally one of their D&D campaigns, now turned into an animated series. Well, no wonder I couldn't find it. So while Critical Role fans laugh at me for a minute, let me explain for the people who knew about as much about this as I did. Critical Role is a group of voice actors, writers, and producers. Most, if not all of them, have extensive experience with animation industry. Ashley Johnson, the one I have by far the most experience hearing apparently, because my god, she was in so many things. She was Gretchen Grundler on Recess, Tulip and Lake from Infinity Train, Tara from Teen Titans, Gwen Tennyson from Ben 10, and that's just off the top of my head. Matt Mercer, the game master for most of their campaigns.
Aurora, there we go. My brain just shut down there.
Is probably most known for his role as Levi in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, plus a lot of video games, including Date Everything, where he played Chance, a 20-sided die.
Trying to get some powerful spell by flirting, aren't you?
No doubt.
Also, if I can take a minute on this, Matt Mercer is known for his shoulder-length brown hair, making dramatic facial expressions, many different voices and sound effects.
Hi there, little kid. Nice to see you.
With a background in storytelling and even art.
As a child, I loved to draw. I had a bunch of sketchbooks. It was very much kind of my youth's main hobby was drawing and sketching, and I loved comics and creatures.
Matt, are we twins? It's okay, you can tell me. I can sing the praises of these guys all day. But my point is, these are people with a lot of experience in the industry who play D&D together as a web series.
Wait.
Begin!
And the Mighty Nein was their second campaign. You may have heard their first one, Vox Machina, which also got turned into a fantasy animated series. If I'm being honest, I never really got into that one.
Our reputation is less than stellar.
I saw it pop up a few times, even tried a couple episodes. Nothing particularly wrong with it. I didn't get invested in it, and the tone felt a little weird to me. I did like some of the characters, though. Might need to revisit that one after I'm done rewatching Mighty Nein. Caleb and Vax seem interesting.
I just think Grog is funny.
Question. Is this normal? Oh no.
But back to the main show here. What is the Mighty Nein? Because if you really have no idea, I want to introduce you to your next new animation obsession. I know it was for me. And it's a great time to get into it because all of Season 1 is out there, and Season 2 is coming out sometime this year.
Time to put on a show!
So all of my fellow animation enthusiasts have something to dive into and then look forward to along with me. But take my word for it, prepare for turbulence. This show will make you laugh and cry in equal measure. The Mighty Nein is a group of misfits. Actually, at first they're not even a group, they're 6 separate misfits. They get thrown together and eventually become a group. Sometimes begrudgingly, becoming friends. They are weirdos to society and even each other. With a sad dirt wizard, a drunken goblin pickpocket, a card-reading circus freak, a half-orc ex-captain with magic he doesn't understand, a tiefling artist with one-sided relationship with a god that may or may not exist, and a hot-headed monk with trust issues.
And she's not the only one with trust issues.
And we haven't seen her much yet in the show, but there's a mind-controlled barbarian with some sort of dark romantic past. Together, this group of weirdos has gotten themselves tangled in the start of a war, and a powerful stolen ancient artifact that no one fully seems to understand. I love them all, but I have a soft spot for Jester, Blue Tiefling Girl. She's fun, she's whimsical, she's this overly sheltered artist set loose on the world for the first time.
Mama doesn't let me leave the chateau. She'd be super mad if she found out what we did today.
I'm not a cosplayer, but honestly, with some body paint, or maybe some foundation that perfectly matches Eli, and I stopped fighting the urge to do her accent,
Not with that attitude, sailor.
I could probably pull it off.
That's pretty cool. I like all the tricks, and how she's unhinged, but also actually really cares about people. Like, way more than she lets on.
Well, Caleb is clearly the best character, mostly because he's driven by guilt, consequences, and choices that won't stay buried. And this season is very interested in his past, and how next to bigger forces at play, which is all I'll say without spoiling anything.
You invested yet? The show does something brilliant with its big cast. It introduces them a little at a time over the first 3 episodes. No confusion, no overwhelming cast of characters thrown at you all at once. No. Just a couple at a time with their own dynamic as they meet each other. We get introduced to them the same way they run into each other, until finally the whole crew is together. In jail, being questioned about events that were not entirely their fault.
Sure. They look pretty guilty, though.
That goes into spoiler territory, so let's back up a bit and tell you more about some of these guys. Now, for me, the character that got me hooked is also the first member of the cast we meet on the show, Caleb Widogast, aka the famously sad-faced Dirt Wizard. We meet Caleb and Not at about the same time.
What Not robs him?
She steals a pouch from him that is important enough to him it chases her down alleys. She gets away just long enough to see the pouch is filled with junk, not money. That certainly wasn't about to buy her refill for her flask. So she would have just lost interest there if Caleb didn't so badly want the thing back.
It's just a bag of junk.
Not to me.
Which was just weird enough to be interesting, so she offers a little deal.
Refill my flask at the tavern and I'll help you break in. It's easier for a human to buy it than someone like me, okay?
They quickly become a little nefarious duo, selling odd things for Caleb, ingredients for a spell he has planned.
What's the play? Huh? Prince and Pauper? Rat food? Gripe and swipe?
But during this, Not notices a wanted poster with Caleb's face on it.
With a pretty big number of zeros in the reward. That sure would buy a lot of drinks for Not.
But she didn't turn him in. Let's be honest, she was going to turn him in. Absolutely no doubt about it. Throw him wherever he was going to get her the prize. But this is what stopped her. Caleb used the ingredients they stole to try to conjure up a cat. A very specific cat that clearly means a lot to him. But the spell didn't last long. The cat disappeared and Caleb melted into tears. From then on, I was in. No idea what was going on, didn't matter. I'm on board. What's the deal with the cat? Why did the spell fail? Who was it that took his magic?
Someone took it from me.
I don't know, but heck if I'm not going to sit through the next several hours of the show just to find out. I didn't think that scene was going to have me well up, but it absolutely did. And it was nothing compared to what I had coming to me.
Episode 5 is rough, but in a good way. In that, how do I go back to normal life after witnessing that kind of way?
And that's exactly how the show gets you. They reel you in with interesting characters and fun, morally gray adventures, then hit you with a gut punch like a spell gone horribly wrong, and just enough information to make you curious for more. The Mighty Nein walks this tightrope of intrigue and emotion perfectly throughout the show, mixing bombastic adventures with gut-wrenchingly sad or tender moments. It's the kind of thing that really shouldn't work because it sounds like total whiplash. But it's not. It's real and lived in, but paced in a way that doesn't drag out. You're never too sad for too long, unlike so many grimdark adult adventure fantasy stories. But it's enough that you get real depth to these characters, and learn a lot of what they go through. Each and every one feels like characters that can have their own show and be their own main characters, but also work well together here. So much of why that is comes from exactly how this was made, as a D&D campaign. I don't play D&D, never have, though as a fantasy lover and avid storyteller, you'd really think I would have by now.
You want to? I have dice for everyone.
Why would anyone want to do that?
Yeah, I don't even know how to play. But I know enough about it to understand that when you play D&D, your character is as real to you as any OC is to an artist. Maybe even more because you play the role of the character. Role-playing game, duh. You play the game hours at a time as this made-up person, thinking about their skills, their weaknesses, their backstory, their goals. Each person spends that much time thinking about their own one and only character.
We honor him.
Bringing it all together, especially from such an experienced group of people like Critical Role, can really make something special. Critical Role's original Mighty Nein campaign was over 500 hours of gameplay. So the fact that they were able to figure out how to cut it down, rearrange it to make it not only make sense, but be compelling to someone like me, a total outsider to the story, is a huge win. That really is a unique problem to have. Then I'd expect leave a new audience scratching their heads wondering what's going on. Animation is not only beautiful, but it's also a perfectly good standalone story. You don't need to know anything about D&D or Critical Role to understand it, and fall in love with the world and the characters.
Yeah, exactly. No one needs to do that.
That being said, if you finish the show and want more, it's pretty cool that there's a whole world of possibilities to dive into from Critical Role's group. There's this specific campaign, or any of their others.
At this time, there are 4. 3 of them by that. And then there's this new one currently going on, where he's a player instead of the GM.
They even have a origin story comic series for the Mighty Nein, which I now have the complete collection of, and I've been well warned to read with tissues ready, because these backstories are no joke. I'm so excited. Amazon Prime is where Mighty Nein animated series lives, but if I'm being honest, this is a Critical Role show through and through. They really did all the marketing for it too, which means a lot of people out there who don't know Critical Role, like me, may have missed out on this one. And as an avid animation nerd and artist, I want to act as a bit of a bridge for the animation people out there. Watch this one. I really think you're going to like it. If you're into things like Avatar the Last Airbender, but a bit more mature in tone, and also a bit irreverent. In a time where it feels like there's so few new things to get excited about, I wanted to be sure people hear about this one, so you can get caught up and get excited with me about Season 2. So if you're here because you love animation, go forth and watch your next favorite series, The Mighty Nein. And if you're a creative person who watches animation to learn how stories work, this one is especially worth your time. The Mighty Nein feels so alive because these characters weren't just written, they were played.
I cannot believe you roped me into this.
I think it sounds like fun. Roleplay is one of the best ways to get inside a character's head. Throw them into situations. Let them react. Let them make bad choices. Whether it's through D&D with friends, or just playing both sides, it's a reminder that characters don't come from perfection, they come from experience. And sometimes, if you live through them long enough, they'll surprise you.
You come upon a great door, several feet high, with ornate designs etched along the trim. The door knockers are massive, forged from heavy iron, worn smooth by centuries of...
I blow it up.
You... what?
I blow it up. I cast whatever explodes. Fireball? I definitely have fireball.
You're level 1.
Oh. Can I just blast a person-sized tool onto it instead?
Okay, but before we explode historical architecture, can I look around? Are there hinges? Or a key? People always lose keys.
Great question. Roll for investigation.
What number am I hoping for?
Higher is better.
While she does that, can I punch it?
The door hasn't done anything to you.
Yeah.
So, while Eli and I face our greatest foe, an imaginary door Eli finds threatening, let us know in the comments, have you seen the Mighty Nein? Or are you about to go check it out now?
Well, sure is something.
Let's go.
I'd love to know who your favorite characters are. That's all I've got in the Mighty Nein, so I'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. And back to the game.